Hi there everybody, it's Claire with another art journal video. I'm going to be playing with this new book. It's very exciting. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to express how excited I am about this. This is so, I don't know, just seeing this in real life. Anyway, so this is the collab book that Emily Stone and I have put together called Face It. It's full of faces. As it says, does what it says on the tin. I'm kind of drawn to this image today, and I think I might use that part, and then I'm going to invest in a digital copy of this too, because these beautiful rainbows are on the back of this, which is a shame, but you know, that's okay. I'm going to cry. So I'm going to cut this here, and then I don't know whether to, I'm just going to disappear the ears, I think, and these kind of feathery bits. So I'm going to have that. I always keep the bits that I cut out because, you know, you can come back to those, can't you, at another time. It might work quite nicely on the black, actually. Sometimes with these kind of collage books, you actually don't need to get out a lot of paint or anything like that. You can kind of create your pictures, your journal pages, just using the paper that's in here. And I'm tempted to kind of make this go over 2 pages. I wonder if I've got another black set of pages that I could use. Should we use these? Let's go here. Because I have an idea for this. And I think rather than cutting, I'm going to tear. So it was very funny because I got a message from some of my art journal lovers going, Claire, what is this on Amazon? Oh dear. You guys are like detectives. So sometimes I like to use pieces like this to create sort of fun borders on my journal pages. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tear these. I've got some nice, it gives it a nice softer edge, tearing the paper rather than cutting it with the scissors. I mean, you know, I don't mind cutting. Has its place. I'm going to save that bit. I kind of want these colours. So let's see if I can tear this one without destroying it. Just be careful. It's most unlike me being careful. Okay. Alright, so I've got some bordery bits. I've got that nice focal image. And then there are some really pretty butterflies in here that I want to use. So I think I'm going to use these ones. I do like those. There are some more further to the back, I think. Oh, I'm just going to use these ones. Right. Come in with some slightly smaller scissors. So my thinking being that I'm going to have this face grounded with some of these bits over here. This sort of idea. And then okay, I'm going to stick those on actually, because I think any paint that I add on I can kind of go round and add that. So I want to grab a glue stick and just stick some of these edge bits on first. So this is the first time that I've actually got to play with these images. Obviously I've seen all the images and kind of said yes and no to some of them, but haven't actually got to play with them, so this is very exciting. So let me stick this face in next. There is some sort of, somebody's having some scaffolding put up, I think, somewhere. It's really weird noises in the background. There's always a weird noise of some description, isn't there? Videos. If it's not the background noise of a fan, it's building work, or it's the dog barking, or birds, they're all right. Not so bad. Okay. So this kind of gives me a starting point for my page. Just going in, I've got my focal point image, I've got bits around my border, so that's kind of already like containing my page here. I've got glue on my page, it doesn't really matter that much, but I'm just going to try and wipe it off before it creates funky texture on my page. You know, it might have helped if I'd used like a bit of an underpaper to glue on, but you know, never mind. Too excited for that nonsense. And I like these kind of softer torn edges too. I think they are really nice. Okay, so I can come back in a bit and do a bit better gluing, can't I? But it's kind of quite cool too, to get things in roughly where you want them to be. Because quite often I'll arrange things on the page and then I'll start taking them off and then I forget. So a little tip is, if you arrange your page how you want it to be first, then take a photo of it before you start dismantling. And then that way you can remember where everything goes, can't you? Okay, so now I want some butterflies. A little bit of fussy cutting. I love the colours on these. Emily's gone for some nice bright rainbow colours on these butterflies. They work really nicely. So obviously on the image that I've added to my page, I have cut off the hair. Just wondering about adding butterflies for hair. Would that work? Would that be a bit weird? Like, most of this collage isn't weird, it is. I don't know, let's see when we get there. So I'm not going to bother trying to cut these antennae out. I'm just going to draw some on when I've got them stuck in place. I might leave that white bit on. Or I might just have them flying like that. Maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see. But whatever, they've definitely got to get smaller, flying into the distance. I like that with them flying off that way. Bye. Right. I'm thinking there should be. I'm not sure though. Let's stick these on. Kind of work this out as I go through. I've had to cut the end off this glue because the temperatures fluctuate so much in my studio that the end got a bit glued up, a bit like the paint does sometimes. So I've chopped the end off and now it doesn't half come out fast. I don't want them to look like they're all flying the same way. Kind of in the general direction of off the page. I think maybe a couple more would be really good on here. Would work really nicely. That's a cute one. In fact, I could even just cut that off there and just do one going like it's going sideways. Oh, that works. But now you see I've got an even number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need an odd number, so let's use this little one. Stick this one up there, this is pretty. So for those times where you want to journal, but you don't want to get all your paint out and messy stuff, grab a journal, grab a collage book like this one, a pair of scissors, some glue, and you can tell a whole story. You can tell any story you want. It can be a make-believe story, it doesn't even have to be a real story. It's absolutely fine. Now I'm just wondering if these would work nicely on here or not. Let's see. This is the great thing about not throwing away bits that you cut off, is you can go back and go, oh okay, I'll add that in. I'll just cut this one down a little bit. Yeah, that works. Kind of frames that somehow. Oh my, I have got that glue everywhere. Gloop. There we are, that's better. Get it in the right place. Let me just wipe those bits of glue up. I like that. Yes. Right, I'm going to keep these little bits. And I might just add a couple of flowers. So I know that at the back of here there are some. Oh, those poppies are just gorgeous. Just take half of that. So I think that might be enough. I'm just going to cut the flowers out and then I can draw my own stems in, can't I? Some of my favourite flowers in this book: poppies, sunflowers, and echinacea, or cone flowers as they're also known. And then the next thing I'm going to need is some words. Are some words. And there are words ready written out in the back of the book. can use. If you want to. It's just about playing with the images and making things work for you, for your style, for the way that you like to create. And if you want to go ahead and copy this journal page, I have no problem with that at all. That is absolutely fine. Sometimes you need to start off by imitating someone else's art. Try and give credit where you can. That is important, I think. Particularly if you are taking inspiration from someone else's work. I think I always try to do that. I maybe don't always remember, but where I do, I always try to give credit for the inspiration. As there are lots and lots of very inspiring artists out there. Okay, so I'm just going to add some stalks onto these poppies. And poppy leaves. I might even draw some of those on if I can. Kind of quite scribbly, aren't they? Let's do some quite scribbly leaves going on here. So this is a Stabilo oil pencil. I can leave it like this, or I can water activate it, and I probably will add a little bit of what's it called, fixative onto here once I am finished. So one thing that's also quite nice to do is to go in and add some marks onto your pieces that you've added onto your page. Let's see, this poor butterfly's tail is flapping. These don't have to be accurate, do they? Just an idea. There we go. So this is an Artex brush pen. I mean, you can go in with stamps as well, if you want to. Oh, hello. Keep getting little wasps and bees in my studio. I think this could benefit from a little bit of stenciling on the background. But I definitely think I need to be a little bit careful what I put on here now. Come on, little bee, out you go. Okay, apologies if that was me in the picture. Me. Maybe. So this is a stencil I designed for Natalie May. It might work quite nicely. Just looking for mustard. I'm just going to pop it on there because it's easier. So it's going to... Oh, little girls next door have got a grate on their drive and they like to play rockets. It's so cute because you can hear the dad playing with them. It's so lovely. It reminds me so much of when Lee and Isabel were small. Hear them running at their dad. Yeah, he has to count them out. It's so cute. Right, that's the last one. They'd literally do it all day. So they've just got in from school. It's just so adorable. Okay, I think that's going to work. Lovely. Cute. So you can kind of go in and add more marks to your page. And these are the bits where you're putting your own kind of stamp on what you're creating. Of course you can stamp over the top of things as well. So it's just using all those mixed media techniques that you already know and bringing different things onto your page. So I'm now adding in those black and white touches. I'm just adding some contrast as well. And then I just want to make sure that I've stuck all the little bits down that are not stuck down very well. And this is a Neo Colour 2. I'm just going to bring a bit of brightness to these yellow rays of light. that's a water soluble crayon, so I could go in and let's have a look, see if we can do this. Just lightly activate that pigment and just see if I can soften out those lines a little bit. So I don't want to go near those antennae that I drew for the butterflies, can't speak today, because those are also, I could water activate those because they're Stabilo All pencil, which is also a water soluble pencil. So I just need to kind of be a bit mindful of that and try and stay away from them a little bit. So you can see that's just softening those lines. I mean, I'm not looking to be tidy, that will do. I'm going to give this a little dry. And then sometimes I like to come in and just kind of scribble a bit on. That pen is too pokey. It's a really nice nib on it, but it's quite fine. Do a little bit of outlining on the poppies. Draw a bit of attention to some of these petals a bit more. Okay, so do you know there's just one word that this page makes me think, and that's joyful. So I think I'm going to write that on the page. And then I'm going to call this page done. Not sure where to put it. Maybe in here. And then if I can get this pen to work. Not really. That's annoying. Lola, what's the matter? Itchy dog. Right, I just need one of these pens to just work, please. And then I'm just going to go in with this pen while I've got it working and just add some more little highlights on some of the poppies and the butterflies. So you can see how easily this new book lends itself to creating really bright, fun, colourful pages. I'm definitely going to get myself a digital copy, because I guess with the double-sided images, you sometimes lose images that you like if you like one on one side and the other side too. So having a digital copy is a great way to sort that out. Right, so I just need, where did I put? I'm just looking for my dotty stamp. Just going to finish this off with a few dots. I just love that effect. Oh yes. Okay, so there's my first creation with my new book, my collab with Emily Stone from Collage Soup, called Face It, and you can get your copy over on Amazon. So thanks for watching me creating in real time. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.